first learned, I was moving to Las Vegas for high school. I didn't really know what to do with myself, especially since I lived in Alaska my entire life. And then I remembered that I'm Taiwanese Aboriginal. And the one thing that Taiwanese people love the most is boba. Yeah, I grew up drinking boba all the time. I love boba. So this gave me an idea, What if there's a way to see my friends from Alaska every summer without constantly asking them to hang out? So this led me to the idea of Infini-Tea boba, a local boba tea stand where me and my friends would go across the Kenai Peninsula and sell boba. Now at first, this idea seemed amazing, but honestly, it felt impossible. When I brought this idea up to my 8th grade lunch table, there was kind of one overall consensus. No one really knew what boba was, and I was shocked. Luckily, I had one friend, Juliet, who knew what boba was, and that led to us thinking of drink names on the swing sets and brand names during science class, until we formulated something that kind of looked like a business plan. I took this business plan and I gave it to my parents, and they were 100% on board. They were really excited for me to do this business. After this, I texted my friends Juliet, Parker, Peyton, Will, Jacob, and Sailor. Hey, what's up, you guys? Are you guys going to do something this summer? And by something, I meant paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of a business plan that would hopefully come to fruition. And to my surprise, they all said yes. And I was so thrilled. After this, I started buying all my equipment, all my ingredients, and everything we needed to make this business run. And on a random Wednesday in June 2022, we were open. And let's just say, overall, 2022 was just very, very slow. Turns out it wasn't just my friends who didn't know what boba was, it was my entire community. So this led to my first lesson learned when starting my own business. Running a business is hard. It's not just buying and selling products for profit. You're guaranteed to ask for help, as what I did could not have been done without my friends and my family. So 2023 rolls around, and I'm kind of hesitant on doing it again because I didn't really talk to my friends that much during the school year, and I had a new life in Vegas. But I still asked them anyways, what's up guys? Are you guys down to do this? Are you guys down to do this again this summer? And to my surprise again, they all said 100% yes, we were so down. But this year, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to maybe expand my menu a little bit more and add maybe more ingredients. But honestly, it didn't turn out that way. It was still stagnant. We went home with leftover inventory and not a lot of profit. And it was like this the entire year until the last day of us opening. We were at this market festival event, and it was the stage, the crowd, and then we were stationed right behind the crowd. And when the performers were done performing, the entire crowd came over to our tent, and bought our drinks. And this was the first day we ever sold out. And we had people asking us like, hey, are you guys coming back tomorrow? Are you guys coming back next week? But I told them we're coming back next year, because the next day I was on a flight back to Vegas. But this is when I knew that something special was about to happen. 2024 comes around, and I decide I want to go full steam ahead. I'm going to take stock of the lessons I've learned. I'm going to buy a branded tent, new cups, post more on social media, and by the first day we were open last year, we sold out within 6 hours. And quickly, that 6 hours became 5 hours, and that 5 hours became 4 hours. We had people driving across the entire peninsula just to try our drinks. We had lines outside our tent even before we opened. I started doing catering events and wedding anniversaries and other festivals. Funny story, actually, my parents had to bring suitcases full of cups and straws and lids from Vegas to Alaska because we just didn't buy enough for the entire summer. But me and my friends had never seen anything like this before, ever. And so this leads to my second lesson learned from running a business. You always got to keep going and persevere. I struggled for 2 summers selling boba in the most northern place in America. But I knew that if I gave a consistent product, opened as much as I could, and tried our best, that eventually it'll work out. In Chinese culture, we have a saying that says 加油, which means add fuel. And that tells us to keep going and don't let anyone get in our way. And I had people in the beginning tell me that it wouldn't work out and I wouldn't make any money doing this business. And after 3 years, I could say I proved them wrong. And my last kind of lesson learned, and kind of the backbone of my whole story, is that spreading your culture and your individuality is really important. The fact that I got to spread a piece of my culture and my heritage in such a rural place in the world is so cool and so amazing. And I think that not only if we spread our culture and our heritage, but also our individuality and what makes us ourselves as well, we can make the world a better place. Thank you guys so much. My name is Walter. My Instagram's right here if you want to check it out. Thank you guys so much.